During the Nintendo Mini Direct, it was unveiled that The World in Which You would be released for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this was a very surprising reveal, as it had been nearly 10 years since the game was originally released for the Nintendo DS. One of the most interesting details about this version of the game is that it will contain new content in the form of an Epilogue chapter. Now, not much is known about what this epilogue contains or what it's about, but a brief tease of it was shown in the Nintendo Direct Mini. Now, I'm your host, Mr. Palladium, and welcome to Channel 52. In the video, I'll be looking into the footage and giving you my, looking for any interesting detail about this epilogue and what it could potentially mean for the future, for the world in which you in the future. The footage starts off with a female Reaper initiating a ritual of some sort. We know for a fact that this person is a Reaper due to the wings she has behind her back. For the uninitiated, most will assume that this female is a brand new character in this epilogue, but in actuality she's not. She's actually a character that was introduced in the mobile version of The World in Which You and in the social media version known as Coco Atarashi. And it seems like she's presiding over a magical circle known as a taboo sigil. We then see the symbol of the taboo sigil glow, indicating that it's been activated by Coco. After that, we see the result of the ritual as a figure arises from the circle. Although we don't see what the person looked like, we only see the top portion of their hair. But looking at the hair, it resembles Sho Minamoto, who was the game master for the second week. So potentially we could see Sho reappearing as the main antagonist for this epilogue, and along with Coco, or maybe this is like a new character of some sort. After that scene, we then see a huge light envelop an entire city, which can be assumed is Shibuya City since it's where the game majorly takes place. But I can't help but wondering if the flash of light was caused by Coco and Sho or whoever the person from the circle was, and it's unknown as to what the purpose of this flash of light, but maybe it initiates another Reaper game of some sort. After that, we get a scene where we see a girl walking by herself in an empty street. Now, this was the same character that was shown off in the secret ending of the solo remix version. We don't know her official name, but fans apparently affectionately call her Hype-chan. The fact that she is shown prominently in the teaser seems to imply that she's going to play some major role in this epilogue story. Like, maybe she could be a new partner for Neku, or maybe she could be a new character that we take control of. Another strange element about this scene is how deserted the street appears to be. Cities are usually busy with people and pedestrian cars, but strangely enough, this street seems to be empty. There seems to be nobody in it except for Hype-chan. I can't help but wondering if this is like the result of the flash of light we saw in the previous scene. Like maybe it caused the people, the denizen of this city to be teleported off somewhere. It's unsure. Now let's delve into Hype-chan herself. Let's see what details we can glean from her. At a glance, we can see that she's wearing a standard Japanese schoolgirl uniform with a red plaid dress and a neckerchief, along with a standard white shirt. One of the most interesting details about Hype-chan are the two items she has in her possession: a headphone and a Mr. Mew doll. The reason why these two items are interesting is because these items were synonymous with Shiki and Neku. Now, I think there's a reason why this character has the headphone, but Mr. Mew doll is a perplexing case, but I think that there's like a potential reason why she has the doll. Now let's first start off with the headphone. Now I believe that they signify that Hypetron is an anti-social similar to Neku. In the game, Neku wasn't interested in other people, and in order to ignore them, he used his headphone to block out the sound caused by them. And I can't help but wonder if this is why this Hypetron has headphones. It's to symbolize her antisocial behavior. And then there's the Mr. Mew doll that Hypetron has in her possession. Now this is a perplexing since the doll was originally created and owned by Shiki, meaning that it would be impossible for Hypetron to get another Mew doll from buying it from a store. Now I have an idea on how she could have gotten the doll. Now epilogues are stories that usually take place after the conclusion of the main story, but usually they can oftentimes take place a certain amount of years after the main game story. What if this is the case with this epilogue, and during the year of this epilogue's events, Shiki was able to make Mr. Mew into a popular brand, allowing her to produce more dolls resembling the character. This could explain why Hypetron had the doll. Maybe Mr. Mew became a popular character in time of this epilogue, and merchandise based on him is valuable. Another strange feature of Hypetron that I wanted to point out are her eyes, which seem to appear to be red for some reason. Usually red eye can be a sign that the person is suffering from albinism, which would basically mean they're like an albino and lack skin pigmentation. Although I can't help wondering if there's like something supernatural to these eyes. And another interesting detail that I wanted to point out comes from the secret ending of the solo remix. Not only does Hypetron appear, but above her we can see a monitor that displays the word New 7 Days. This could possibly give us an idea of what might occur in this epilogue. It seemed that Coco and Sho, or whoever was the mysterious figure, have initiated another Reaper game, and it seemed like Hypetron may be a contestant in this game. Now there are some detail about this version of The World Ends With You that I thought was interesting from the footage we saw from the Nintendo Direct, and so I wanted to point them out and talk about them. First thing is the combat. In the original DS version, players were able to control Neku through the touchscreen, while Neku partners were located on the top screen and could be controlled through the D-pad or by an AI. In the solo remix version, players can only control Neku and could temporarily summon the partner character in order to perform an attack. It seemed like the final remix version will offer players the option on how they want to control their partners, because during the footage that shows off the combat, we see players control the partners differently. In one footage, we see Neku and Shiki fighting Noise, but we can see the button input and Xener card present for Shiki. But in the other instance of combat, the button input and the Xener card aren't present for the partners. This could potentially mean that players will be able to either use the D-pad to control the partners, like in the DS version, or be able to temporarily summon them, like in the Solo Remix version. Although I have an interesting idea, similar to how the DS and Solo Remix had their own unique way of controlling or utilizing the partners. I can't help but wonder if the final remix version will have its own unique ways that is only exclusive to the final remix, and I believe it will become in the form of 2-player co-op. One of the most unique features of the Nintendo Switch is that both of the Joy-Cons can be used as controllers. Now what if the final remix have 2-player co-op? I can see the left Joy-Con being used to control Neku's partners, and the right Joy-Cons being used to control Neku. It would be an interesting idea, and it might explain why Square Enix decided to release the final remix exclusively on the Switch, as they will like to utilize such a function of the Switch controllers. And the last detail that I want to talk about is the title. This version of The World Ends With You is referred to as the final remix. Now, another game series released by Square Enix that uses the phrases final and remix in their re-releases is the Kingdom Hearts series. When certain titles are released, they receive a re-releases known as a final mix version. This was done in 3 instances. The first was done for the first game, known as Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, the second game, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and the PSP exclusive Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. What was unique about the Final Mix version was that they included new content that weren't present in their original releases. Oftentimes, some of these content were secret cutscenes or boss battles that would give players a brief tease to a future title. For example, the first Final Mix had a boss battle and a secret ending that teased Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix also had a boss battle and a secret cutscene that teased Birth by Sleep. And Birth by Sleep Final Mix just had a boss battle, but it was also a tease to Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. And I believe that similar to the Final Mix, the final remix of The World Ends With You will possibly have a tease to a sequel to the game. Now, there is a word. Now, the word remix has also been used by the Kingdom Hearts series, but it's always been used for the HD remaster, like 1.5 or 2.5. So I guess the reason why this version of The World Ends With You is using the word remix is to imply that this version of the game has been upgraded with HD graphics. Now, that was all that I could find. Now, I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the footage that was shown in the Nintendo Direct Mini? And what do you think the final remix means for the future of The World Ends With You? Now, if you would like to see more of my content, simply subscribe to my channel. I'm your host, Mr. Platinum, and I'll be signing off.